Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining me today. The goal of this first session is to show you how I will create a very simple table lamp, and I will do this using basic shapes from Maya primitives. My first goal will be to make sure that I'm in the modeling menu set. I think I'm going to start with a cylinder, and I'm going to draw it right here in the middle to establish the base of the table lamp. If I come here to my channel box, I can see my subdivisions. If I click on that and middle mouse drag on the work area to determine how many sides I want. So I'm going to create subdivisions. For the subdivisions cap, I think I can work with 3. Yeah, I'm just going to right click to go to my component mode, and I will double click on this edge. It selects the entire rim for me, and I'm going to add that order selection to it by holding down shift. And I'm thinking now that I should pull all of these edges up. So I'm going to add all of these edges to the selection, and maybe I could add this other set of edges to the selection. I'm going to pull this up just to define that shape there because I want that curve there. This is just one way of doing it. There are definitely so many ways of approaching this. So I would create another primitive. This time around I'll use a cylinder. Same process. I would like to keep the subdivision small just so that I have manageable faces. Now I'll show you a quick trick. If you want to make sure that all of these are centralized, you can select all of them. If you go to your channel box, I'm just going to place the translate Z to 0, and I think I can also place the translate X and Z, also make both of them 0. You can see now that it snaps to the center, which is good. I'm just going to pull this lamp stand. I think I can make it a bit shorter in terms of the height. So I'm going to duplicate that cylinder and take it right up. You can also go to either the side or the front view just to make sure that everything looks tidy and clean. What we can do next is create the other parts of the lamp. Now this is where it could be interesting because I could decide, for example, that I want to go with a sphere, and if I go to my side view, I could also change the number of faces. So for this, I'm going to go to 12 faces on all axes. Right click, go to the component mode. I'll select faces. I want to delete this part. So now I could scale this up a bit depending on what style of lamp head I'm creating. You will notice now if I go in that this is just a thin face. So I'm going to extrude it by doing Control E on Windows and Command E on Mac. So I'm just going to extrude that. I'm going to add a thickness of maybe 0.2 just to see if it's fine. Maybe I can make it 0.2. Yeah, I think this is manageable. So I'm just going to activate my scale tool, which is R, and I'm going to try and move it to the center just so that it aligns perfectly with the other assets that I already have. Take this up, and yeah, I think one other thing I want us to do right away is to determine the rotation of this top part of the lamp. So I'm going to zoom in just so I can see it very well. I think I want to move the gizmo from this point to here so that the pivot is right here at the bottom. And to do that, I'm just going to hit on the keypad D, and that gives me the opportunity to move the gizmo down. Alright, so that becomes the center. I'm going to hit D to accept it. This way, if I rotate it on the x-axis, you can see I'm already getting that deformation. Yeah, I think this is good. Then same thing I'm going to do is I'll try to also rotate this on the Z orientation, and you can see that I think we have something we can work with. I'm just going to look at it from all angles to be sure that we're making good progress. So remember, this is just keeping it simple. Obviously, if you look at different types of lamps, you will see that there are just so many designs. So for this class, we're going to keep it simple, and I'm going to try to obscure all of those sharp edges there just by creating a simple sphere. I will make this maybe 12. Okay, so my goal now is to use that new sphere to obscure some of those imperfections that are visible. So I'm just going to move this there. All right, and I'll make a copy of that, Control D or Command D on Mac. I'll take it up and I'll try to match this position. I think this is fine, but I would also like to rotate it so that it faces my Z axis. Yeah, I think this is more visually accurate. So I'm just going to bring it down a bit. And while we're still here, I'm just going to make a copy of that for the bulb itself. So I've made another copy of the sphere. I think what I want to do is maybe look at this from the top view, and I'm going to zoom in by hitting F. Now my goal will be to shape this to look like a bulb. It's not really a very prominent part of my animation, so I'm just going to go to a couple of vertices, and I could select a few. If I hit B, it activates my soft select, and I could change the size of my brush by holding down B and middle mousing. So I could change the size of my brush to affect the influence, and I will change the size of the brush some more so that I could shape this. I think I should scale this a little bit. So now it depends on the type of light bulb you're trying to go for, but like I said, this is not really a big problem for me because it's not going to be seen too much anyway. Now I'm just going to flip it to the other side, maybe make it yeah, something like that. If I activate my wireframe, which is the number 4, I could see it through and then place it where I think it should be. I will hit F to focus a bit. Then I think I need to rotate it slightly. Yeah, I think this is usable. So I think this concludes the modeling process for me. And like I said, we're going to keep it simple. And yeah, see you in the next session where we're going to try to add some textures and colors to make this look good. It's always a good practice to name all of these assets, but we'll do that in the next class. Please don't forget to subscribe because I'm going to be creating new videos every time, and hopefully we can learn from each other and be better animators in the process. Okay, see you in the next class. Bye for now.